They say family never betrays you. But when my sister stole $700,000, the money our parents spent a lifetime building, I learned that love has limits. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just watched, documented, and destroyed her life one document at a time. This is my story. My name is Laura Bennett, and I used to believe that family meant safety. That was before I learned that blood can lie. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, the daughter of Thomas and Evelyn Bennett, two honest, hard-working architects who taught my sister Rachel and me that integrity was worth more than any bank account. They built their firm from nothing, small projects, long nights, late invoices, but every line they drew was clean, honest, and theirs. When they died, first my father, then my mother 6 months later, everything they had built came to rest in our hands. The firm, the home, and the trust fund. Total value: $700,000. Half for her, half for me. Simple. At least, that's what I thought. Rachel and I were close once, or I thought we were. She was the magnetic one. Charming, funny, beautiful, the kind of person people just handed things to. And me. I was the planner. The careful one. The one who color-coded everything from my calendar to my conscience. Our parents used to say, "You two balance each other." Turns out, they were wrong. Balance only works when both sides carry weight. After the funerals, Rachel started calling more often. She'd ask about the estate, the bank accounts, the legal paperwork. "You're so good at that stuff, Lau," she'd say. "Just let me know if you need help. Or if you ever need me to sign something." At first, I thought it was sisterly concern. But now I realize it was curiosity, the kind of curiosity that hunts for opportunity. A few weeks later, she came over with wine. We sat at my kitchen table, surrounded by file folders and trust documents. "You must be exhausted," she said. "A little," I admitted. "It's a lot of legal language." "You've always been the smart one," she smiled. "I'll sign whatever you need me to. I trust you." She said it with that soft voice, the same one she used to talk our parents out of consequences. I remember thinking, she's finally taking this seriously. When she offered to help manage the estate's online banking because she was better at tech, I agreed. She had a degree in business, after all. It felt fair. So, I gave her temporary power of attorney. One form, one signature, one mistake. 3 months later, I got an alert from the bank. Outgoing wire transfer, $175,000 to Bright Cove Holdings LLC. My stomach dropped. I hadn't authorized any transfers. When I called the bank, they said the request came from an authorized account manager. My sister. I called her immediately. "Rachel, did you move money out of the estate account?" "Oh yeah. Don't freak out," she said. "Evan found a real estate deal. A quick flip in Utah. It's an investment for both of us." "Both of us? You didn't even ask." "Laura, relax. I'm helping us. You'll thank me later." That's when I knew. This wasn't a mistake. It was theft wearing a smile. I checked the account again that night. The next transfer, $85,000, had already gone through. Then another. And another. By the end of the quarter, only $7,400 was left in the estate account. 700,000. Gone. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I opened my laptop, and I started building an evidence trail. Every email. Every bank statement. Every digital signature that had her IP address tied to it. Rachel thought she was smarter, that because I was quiet, I was weak. But quiet doesn't mean powerless. I printed everything. Page after page, building a case in silence. I labeled the folder, Rachel Fraud Evidence. By the end of the week, it was 137 pages long. That's when I noticed something else. The company she transferred money to, Bright Cove Holdings, was one of 3 LLCs all registered under her husband's name. Each one funneled money through short-term real estate flips, designed to disappear before anyone looked too closely. They were laundering our parents' legacy. The confirmation came not from the bank, but from Instagram. Rachel had posted a picture of her and Evan standing in front of a lake house in Utah. The caption read, "Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. #family, #blessed, #legacy builders." That lake house was listed under one of the LLCs. Purchased cash. $692,000. That night, I couldn't breathe. I went to my parents' house, still locked, still filled with their things, and sat in their old office. The framed blueprints were still on the wall. I whispered into the dark, "I'm sorry. I'll fix this." And I meant it. The next morning, I met with an attorney, Michael Dorsey, a probate fraud specialist. I showed him the documents, the transactions, the LLC registrations. He looked up halfway through the binder and said, "You realize this isn't just civil. This is criminal." I nodded. "Then let's do it right." That week, we filed Bennett versus Carter Family Holdings LLC, citing fiduciary fraud, conversion of estate assets, and embezzlement. The same day the filing went public, I froze all accounts and initiated a full financial audit through the Oregon Department of Justice. Rachel didn't know yet. But her countdown had already begun. 2 days later, my phone rang. It was Rachel, screaming, "You froze our accounts. What the hell did you do?" "I did what you should have done. I followed the law." "You're insane. This is family money." "No," I said. "It was. Until you stole it." She hung up. An hour later, she was at my building, pounding on my door. I didn't open it. She shouted through the hallway, "Mom and Dad would be disgusted with you." I almost laughed. Because if they were alive, she'd be the one they couldn't look at. That night, I turned off my phone and let the silence settle. There's a kind of calm that comes when you stop trying to save someone who doesn't want saving. 6 weeks later, we met in court. She wore white. Innocence by design. Her husband, Evan, sat beside her, his confidence cracking under fluorescent lights. Her defense. She misunderstood the trust agreement. She claimed it was a joint investment. But the evidence didn't care about her story. It cared about facts. Every dollar traced to her authorization. Every fake company traced to her husband. Every excuse erased by timestamps. When my lawyer presented the final exhibit, the property deed of the Utah house, the courtroom went silent. The judge looked over his glasses and said, "Mrs. Carter, you not only breached fiduciary trust, you committed calculated fraud. Against your own sister." Rachel's lips trembled. "I didn't mean to." "You meant to," I interrupted. "You just didn't mean to get caught." The ruling was brutal and perfect. The court ordered her to repay $700,000 in full, pay $210,000 in damages, relinquish the Utah property and all assets tied to the LLCs, submit to federal tax review. The house, cars, and accounts were seized within a month. Evan divorced her 3 months later, filed bankruptcy, vanished. And Rachel. She stayed in the city, moving from apartment to apartment, each one smaller than the last. Justice doesn't roar. It whispers, and then it takes everything quietly. People talk about closure like it's some kind of relief. It's not. It's just emptiness without confusion. After the trial, the family split. My aunt said I'd humiliated my sister. My uncle said I was cold-hearted. None of them offered to pay back the money she stole. They just wanted peace, the kind that only exists when truth is ignored. I didn't attend family holidays that year. Instead, I spent Christmas alone in my apartment, drinking wine, watching old home videos. Rachel laughing. Me smiling beside her. Our parents behind the camera. I deleted them all the next morning. It took almost a year for the restitution payments to begin. The court ordered wage garnishment, 20% of her income until the balance was cleared. At her current pace, It'll take her 25 years to pay it off. Meanwhile, I took what remained of my share and created the Bennett Memorial Scholarship Fund for architecture students in Oregon. I used my father's old blueprints as the logo. The first student to receive the scholarship sent me a handwritten note. Your parents built homes for families. I'll build schools for children. Thank you for helping me continue their work. That one sentence did more for my soul than any apology ever could. 3 years after the trial, Rachel found me again. It was raining that day, like it always seems to when my story turns. I was leaving work when I saw her standing by my car. Thinner. Older. Tired. Laura, she said softly. Rachel. I came to say sorry. I didn't answer. She reached into her bag and pulled out a folded piece of paper, a check. $3,200. It's all I can pay this month, she said. I thought it would feel better to pay it. It doesn't. Her voice cracked. You really won, didn't you? I looked her in the eyes, the same eyes that used to look like mine. No, I said. The truth won. She nodded. Then she turned and walked away. No hug. No tears. Just rain between us. That was the last time I saw her. Sometimes, I think about what could have been if she'd just asked for help instead of stealing. If she'd trusted me the way I trusted her. But you can't rewrite people. You can only reveal them. Rachel's betrayal didn't just take money. It took the illusion that blood meant loyalty. I used to miss her. Now, I just miss who I thought she was. When people ask me how it felt to watch her lose everything, I tell them the truth. It didn't feel like revenge. It felt like balance being restored. Justice isn't about satisfaction. It's about symmetry. And my sister? She got exactly what she gave. Nothing left but regret. It's been 5 years now. The scholarship fund has grown. The Bennett name means something again. Sometimes, I get letters from students or families who benefited. They call me kind. They don't know that kindness is what started all this. Blind, trusting kindness. I still keep one thing locked away. The original power of attorney form I signed that gave Rachel access. It's a reminder. Every scar tells a story. Mine just has a dollar amount attached. I've learned that revenge isn't about anger. It's about truth. It's the moment you stop begging for closure and start building it yourself. My sister's choices burned every bridge we had, but what rose from those ashes was clarity. So if this story made your heart race, if it reminded you that justice might move slow, but it never stops, then don't just scroll past. Hit that like button, subscribe to Revenge Uncut, and share this story with someone who still believes betrayal goes unpunished. Because here, every lie meets its reckoning, and every story ends with justice.